Do you set expectations and intentions for yourself as a leader? Well, you probably should. We all have the opportunity to get better all the time, constantly improving forever. So today I'm just going to talk about three of the intentions that I set for myself this year. And maybe you can tell me about yours in the comments. So let's get started. So, my 2026 leadership goals, I have three of them. And if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad so that I can tell you about them. So, the first intention that I set for myself this year is practicing strategic silence. So I often have more to say than my peers. I tend to come up with ideas really, really quickly. My brain just kind of like somebody says something and I just churn out ideas. And my problem is that I churn out these ideas out loud and I dominate the conversation and I tend to take up a lot of time with the things that I'm saying. So, my goal is to be at least the third person to speak. If I can wait until last, I will absolutely wait until last, but be at least the third person in the room to speak. So, what I'm doing about that is I take a notepad or I take my iPad with me, and if I have an idea, I will write it down. So I'll write it down. I'll listen to what everybody else is saying first before I interject. And well, don't interject. Don't want to interject. You want to include yourself in the conversation in a respectful way. So, um, so I'll listen to what other people have to say about it, and then I will put my ideas and my thoughts out there as well. I have been working on this one. This one is a bit tricky. It's a bit challenging, but it's been going pretty well, I think. Really, the big reason that I want to do this is because I tend to kind of get on my own nerves. Like, there are times where I'll leave a meeting and I'll be like, you didn't have to do all that. Like, oops, I dropped my phone. Don't worry about it. Um, you didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to go on a tangent like that. Like, you don't have to prove to the room that you're smart. Everybody knows that you're smart. You know that you're smart. You don't have to prove it. So that's a big one that I'm working on. Is really just the strategic silence and listening to others before actually putting my ideas out there. So that is number one. Number two, shift from doing the work to trusting the competence. So I tend to overload myself with work because I don't trust that other people will do it in the way that I want it to be done. And that's a problem, because not everything needs to be done the way that I want it done. Um, and I overload myself, I burn myself out, I take over projects, and then I'm just doing too much. And then when I do too much, I'm not actually focusing on my regular job, which is leading and supporting my team and being there for them. So I've been really working on this one as well. In working groups and stuff, when we're having conversations, I'm saying, hey, do you want to own that piece? I can own this piece. Do you want to own that piece? Can we find someone to take this piece on? And really just working through that. And I'm doing that a lot with my team too, as to not take extra work on myself, right? So if like one of my agents, maybe we're having a one-on-one and they're like, hey, I really want to learn more about this particular subject. And I'm like, okay, great. Here's what we can do. I can assign you some time. You do the research on this. You take the time, do the research, do the learning, and then put something together to send out to the team or to hand out to the team or to go over in the team topics, whatever. So really, I'm giving them the time to learn and develop and grow into their leadership role as well. And I don't have to do it, right? I don't have to take out of my time to do it. Now, of course, if they're not willing to do it or they are too nervous to do it, I will help them through it. we'll work together, things like that. We'll work on it together. I'll support them through it. But a lot of the time it works, and they find so much information that they're learning, and then they share it with the team, and the team appreciates it, and it's really good team building and knowledge building. So that is definitely something that I've been successfully working on. Number 3, contextualizing my directness. The challenge, my direct and blunt delivery and facial expressions might make me seem hard to work for. The goal, instead of just trying to smile more, I will verbally clarify my intent. I'll remind my team that my direct feedback is a tool for their success, not an attack, to prevent forcing them into defense mode. So I'm going to put this over here. So really what I mean by that, right, is explaining why we're having this conversation. And sometimes it's a group setting, sometimes it's a one-on-one setting. Here, I'll give you an example. So the other day in my team meeting, we were having a conversation about what our team contest is. I do team contests every month, little competitions, things like just to get them motivated. So this month I was doing a team contest about one of the tools that we use to perform our job for troubleshooting. And I explained all the benefits, right? I was like, hey, so we know that using this tool will help to make your calls more efficient. It will make sure you're not skipping troubleshooting steps. It will provide the call guidance that you need, and it'll improve just the overall call flow. Um, also things get added to these all the time. So, there may be new steps that are added to it, or, all these different things, just talking about the benefits. And then I provided the reasoning, right? The reason that we need to be using this tool more is because our average handle time is high. So we just need to improve on our um, Average handle time is important because it keeps the calls low. It shows respect for the customer's time. Um, you know, Everything that we can possibly do, right? It balances out the rest of your metrics and, so on and so forth. So explain the why, explain the benefit, and then set my expectation. Okay, I expect everybody on the team to be using this tool for every single one of their troubleshooting trees, and I expect you to actually use it. Like, I don't want you to just click through it to reach a metric, because that there's no point in doing that. There's no reason to do it. I want you to actually use it. I want you to follow the steps. That I'm not saying not to use your critical thinking skills, right? I still want you to use your critical thinking skills and think outside of the box, but we just need to improve on our efficiency. So explained all of that, looked around the room and got some pushback, right? And I lead a team of agents who are like mostly tenured now, right? Like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So it's pretty tenured. And I got a lot of, well, I already know what I'm doing, and I don't really need these steps. And if I do this, like, then some of my calls are actually going to be longer than what they would be. And I address their concerns, right? Like, I know that you're smart. I know that you are experienced. I know that you know how to do the job, and I'm not doubting that at all, right? But sometimes we still do things out of order that take more time, whatever. Um, 20 minutes of this goes by. I have an hour in my team meeting to get through the topics that we need to talk about. 20 minutes goes by, and finally I just decide I'm putting my foot down. Hey, we're done talking about this. Uh, you know, this is the expectation. I've provided you the benefits, I've provided you the why, and this is what we're doing. So this is I expect that everybody is on board with this, and that you'll do this. Um, What I was really proud of is that I did not do this out of emotion. I didn't let my emotions get the best of me. It was really just kind of like a leadership moment, which I was proud of myself about, because emotional intelligence is like something I've been working on forever. But really contextualizing that direction, right? Like, I've explained my part of it. I've heard your part of it, but this is what we're doing. And as a team, this is what we're doing. So I haven't really had any other opportunities to practice this one, but I definitely, like, when they arise, I'm going to be a lot more mindful of the things that I say, and really kind of setting the expectation and the tone of the conversation before we go into it. Um, I really want to, like, I want to be like that psychologically safe leader that you can go to and you can talk to. And I am, for the most part. I do have a lot of agents that trust me. Most of my agents trust me with everything. Everything that they can possibly want to talk to me about, they don't hesitate to come talk to me about. And I really appreciate that. So yeah, those are my three major intentions as a leader. And then, of course, I have some that are not written down, that are just kind of outside of work. But I think sometimes those ones, they really, they help you inside of work too, because they help you be a better person. Um, a couple years ago, I decided that enough was enough with my weight and my health. And I decided that I was going to lose a ton of weight. I did. I lost 140 pounds, and now, I'm really trying to build the strength and build the muscle, not only with going to the gym and lifting weights, but also doing calisthenic work. And I'm kind of thinking about getting back into swimming again, but that's kind of just a thought in my head. Um, so, doing that, kind of becoming a better, healthier version of myself so that I could show up and be a better, healthier version of myself at work. But also just kind of picking up new hobbies. I started cross stitching and crocheting. I have a telescope over here that I plan to take out over the summer and, kind of do some stargazing, maybe do some camping. I don't know. I have like 100 million things that I want to do. But that's one of my intentions, is to pick up on some new hobbies. And another one is to have a tidier home, because as you can probably see, I just kind of have junk everywhere. So I've been working on that one a little bit. And I think those really just help me to be a better person, which then in turn helps me to be a better leader. So, what about you? What are your intentions? I know we're a month into 2026. Did you set any intentions at the beginning of the year? If so, how'd your progress? How's it going with that? Did you not set any? Well, might be a good time to sit down and think about it. So, until next time, everybody, have a great day.